Whether you're struggling with a lack of confidence, low self-esteem, or struggling with some kind of anxiety, you probably want to change the way that you think about yourself. And if you're anything like me, then all kinds of negative thoughts come into your head on a daily basis. Thoughts like, I'm a loser, or I'm a bad person, or I'm not worth X, Y, or Z. I'm just a waste of space, or maybe even I hate myself. So in this video, I want to share with you 6 ways that you can use to change the way that you think about yourself. And I promise that if you commit to watching this video all the way to the end, that I'm going to be sharing with you the tools and techniques that you need to start changing the way that you think about yourself and start moving towards creating massive amounts of confidence in your life. So strap in, take some notes, and don't forget, of course, to leave a like on the video because it really helps to boost it inside of the YouTube algorithm so it can reach and affect more people on YouTube as well. So the first way is through therapy or counselling. Now, I had suffered from anxiety and panic attacks for most of my life, although I hadn't actually identified them as such for most of my early life, even into my early adulthood. I just thought that they were a part of who I was. I thought they were just something that happened to everyone until one day I had the mother of all panic attacks. It was like I woke up, my brain got itself into gear, and immediately I felt like I was going to die. My heart was racing, I couldn't catch my breath, and this insane sense of darkness and dread just completely overwhelmed me, and I didn't know how long it was going to last. I don't know how long it did last. I just know that for that time I thought that my life was going to come to an end. I genuinely thought that I was dying. And so that, combined with my regular anxiety, bouts of depression, anger management issues, and a myriad of other emotional problems that I had at that time, led me to understand that it was time for me to get help. And in fact, it was my dad that suggested that I go and meet with a therapist or a counsellor to start helping me to work through these issues. And I am so grateful that he pushed me in that direction. Otherwise, I don't know where I'd be in life right now. And at first, I didn't really hold out much hope for therapy. I had been studying psychology, and I didn't expect too much from it. In fact, I just fully expected to be laid out on a couch while a bespectacled psychotherapist asked me about my relationship with my mother, and I deflected. That was what I thought was going to happen. But instead, what I was met with was a sense of unconditional positive regard for who I was, and a lot of questioning. It was just a lot of questions and exploration of what my thoughts and my beliefs were about the world. In fact, the most important thing that my therapist challenged me to do was to in fact challenge my thoughts and my deeply held beliefs that I had had for my entire life. And these were beliefs that I held about myself and the world and society, and she was able to help me to understand that there was more to life than what was going on in my own head. She helped me to understand that I could improve myself and change my life for the better and change the way that I think about myself if I was willing to take responsibility for my actions and for my thoughts. Over the course of those 18 months that I spent in therapy with her, I was able to make massive changes in my life, and it was worth every penny that I paid for it. All this time I'd spent trying to figure it out on my own with self-help books. All I really needed was to sit with somebody who was objective, but who also cared enough about everyone to want to help me to become the best version of myself. And so I highly recommend therapy or counselling to everyone, even if you don't have anything that you think would be useful to bring up to a therapist or a counsellor. Sometimes it's just useful to have that person to talk to about things that you can't talk about to anyone else. So that's the first way, through therapy and counselling. Now the second way is journaling, and journaling has been an on again, off again habit for me for many, many years, but the times that I do journal, I always get this greater sense of self-love and self-acceptance, forgiveness, clarity, and a lot of other benefits that I could spend hours listing. Now, oftentimes making these videos really takes the place of that journaling process for me, but as I said, it is something that I do go back into as an on again, off again habit quite often, especially if I find myself in some kind of emotional or psychological rut. Just the act of writing down my thoughts and my feelings really helps me to clear all that out and to start to regain a little bit of control in my life. And the thing with journaling, as I said, it's not a daily habit for me, but it still helps. But if you want it to become a daily habit and you're daunted by the idea that you'll have to spend a lot of time writing down all of your thoughts and all of your feelings, then use this tip that I read in the book Atomic Habits by James Clear, a book I highly recommend. I finished it a few days ago and it was really insightful. Just a really, really good book on building habits. He suggests that with something like journaling, just start with 1 minute a day. Give yourself 1 minute, no more, no less, to write down whatever it is that you're feeling. At the end of that 1 minute, stop writing, no matter what. And then just keep doing this for as long as it takes for you to be comfortable with that 1 minute spell, and then slowly increase that over time. Maybe spend at least a week just spending 1 minute doing it every single day and see where that takes you. You'll be able to develop that as a daily habit a lot faster than you thought you would if you can take the pressure off yourself to make it this big, beautiful thing. When you only really need to spend like a minute doing it a day. So journaling is a great way to get you out of your head, get your thoughts and feelings out of your head, and just let you be you. And that is another amazing way to change how you think about yourself. Just getting all the clutter out and onto a page so that only you remain for as long as you want. Now, the third way is through observing your thoughts. Sometimes this is called meditation or mindfulness, but really it is just a simple practice of observing what is going on in your own mind. You see, most of the time our thoughts are chaotic and out of our control and absolutely meaningless. They are just impulses that are shooting back and forth within our brain that don't actually have any real meaning or sense behind them. And when we can start seeing our thoughts for what they truly are, which is most of the time just genuinely meaningless, we can start to alter the way that we think about ourselves, because we start to realize that we are not our thoughts, that there are essentially two people living in our minds. There's the person that thinks all the thoughts, and then there's you who can sit back and just observe those thoughts as they're happening with no meaning, no judgment attached to any of them, just watching what happens as if you were watching an indie movie that you don't really know how to feel about, so you just sit there and absorb it. And the thing is, when we can sit down and observe our thoughts with objectivity and curiosity, just trying to see what happens and not trying to affect the flow of our thoughts in any way, we take the power away from our automatic negative and sometimes even harmful thoughts, and we return that power to ourselves. And again, this can just be done in as little as a minute a day. Just find 1 minute a day for you to take a deep breath and just spend some time watching your thoughts and just see what comes up for you. You can even incorporate this into the journaling and write down what those thoughts are for a minute, just observing them without thinking that they are either good or bad or positive or negative or anything more than the fact that they are simply thoughts and they don't mean anything. In time, you will become more confident, more self-aware, more self-acceptant, and again, this can hugely change the way that you perceive yourself and that you think about yourself. Remember, you are not your thoughts. You are the person that observes those thoughts and responds. Now, the fourth thing is through reading, and you'll probably know if you've been watching videos on this channel that I'm not a huge fan of self-help books, being an ex-self-help junkie and all. In fact, you can check out my thoughts on how self-help books might be potentially ruining your confidence in the description down below. I'll have one of the videos pop up in a banner above my head now, and you can check those out later on. But I still think that reading is a great way to change the way that you think about yourself and about the world as well, whether that is fiction or non-fiction. I encourage you to read books that challenge your perceptions and challenge your beliefs about the world, about yourself, about society, about culture, about everything. Remember, no one has all of the answers, and it's good to see things from other perspectives, even if it is just to see that other perspective and realize that it's not for you. It's good to see things from as many different angles as possible, and it can really change the way that you think about everything, not just yourself. And if you want some recommendations for some great authors that I have found in self-improvement but not in self-help, they would be people like Ryan Holiday, Mark Manson, and Brené Brown. Those are the first three that come to mind that I would highly recommend to anyone, especially if you're looking to improve your confidence, self-esteem, and anxiety issues. So go out there and just start reading things that challenge you and your perceptions and everything. Just let everything be challenged. Don't let anything stay sacred in your mind. Just let everything be challenged. As I said, even if it is just to observe that other perspective and realize, actually, no, that's not for me. Now, the fifth way is just to do something different. Take action. Take some kind of new scary action today. And I stand by this statement 10 million%. And that statement is that action precedes mindset. There's so many people out there who are all about the mindset over everything else. They think that if you can get the right mindset, then you can do pretty much anything. And I wholeheartedly disagree with that approach. As I've already discussed, our thoughts aren't real. They're just fabrications. They are meaningless things that go on in our heads without our control most of the time. And what that means is that any time that you try to change your mindset through thinking about it alone, you don't actually do anything. You're not actually making any kind of change, or at least not major changes in that way. And as a great philosopher said, either Aristotle or Will Durant, it's currently unclear. I didn't do enough research to figure out who that actually was, but one of them said that we are what we do repeatedly. Not we are what we think about repeatedly, or we are what we wonder about repeatedly. We are what we do repeatedly. And if you want to change the way that you think about yourself, then, once you know what you want to think about yourself, just go out there and start doing those things. If you want to be confident, then go and do the things that make you confident. Go and speak to people, go do scary things, work on expanding your comfort zone, go and take the actions that confident people do, or that you would do if you were confident. The only way for us to change our mindset is through changing our behavior. Now, I spent years trying to overcome my anxiety, my depression, my low self-esteem, and everything else through just thinking about it, by reading loads of self-help books and then sitting down and thinking about it. And I'm sure it'll become as no surprise as you that that didn't work. It didn't make any change. In fact, it made things worse, because I thought I was taking action by just sitting there and thinking about it, when in fact I wasn't, and no change was happening. So I thought that it was all about me, and it was, just not in the way that I thought it was. What I wasn't doing was taking action, and because I wasn't taking action, nothing was changing, least of all in my mindset. And it was only when I started to take action towards, improving my life in an actually active way that things started to change. And so I highly encourage you to start taking the actions that you know that you have to take. Work towards achieving your goals and becoming the person that you want to be. You don't have to take massive action. Just small, consistent daily steps will do just fine. And over time, those will build up and you will get to where you want to go. But it all starts with taking action. And that is how you change your mindset. And the final way that you can change the way that you think about yourself is through getting coaching. Now, of course, I am biased when I say this because I am a coach myself, but coaching is a hugely powerful tool for helping you to learn about yourself and learn about what holds you back and learn how to take better action steps. And of course, the truth is that every single one of us has the potential to do something amazing in life. It doesn't mean that we need to do something, but every single one of us has that potential. And I could give you 1,000 reasons why coaching will help you to get there, but the simple fact of the matter is that not everyone needs coaching. Coaching is there to help you to accelerate your progress. It's like a sport. If you wanted to learn basketball, of course you could teach yourself how to become world class at basketball on your own using YouTube videos and articles, but you'll get there a hell of a lot faster if you were to get yourself a coach. The same thing works with areas of your life. If you want to become more confident, then getting a confidence coach will accelerate you towards there. If you want to build a great business, then a business coach will accelerate your progress to get there. As long as you choose the right coach for you, an effective coach, somebody that works with you, that matches up with what your expectations are, and who challenges you to take personal responsibility and action, then you will accelerate your progress towards your own personal growth in whatever area that is. And that will change the way that you think about yourself forever. Now, if you're ready to start making those massive changes in your life, of course, I have some things to help you along the way. The first thing is a short 5-page PDF booklet that I give away for free on my website called The 7 Secrets to Confidence, and it is full of very simple steps that you can start taking today to massively increase your confidence and get yourself on that path towards becoming the person that you want to be. So if you want that booklet, make sure to click the first link down in the description below to get that today. The second thing, of course, is to subscribe to this channel because I'm putting out regular content all geared towards helping you to achieve your freedom through confidence, so that once again you can become the person that you know that you can become. And the third thing, as I've already mentioned in this video, is my coaching services. If you want to accelerate your growth towards becoming the most confident version of yourself, then make sure that you send me a DM or leave a comment on this video or contact me on my website to arrange a free coaching discovery call, and we will figure out if confidence coaching is the right thing for you, because as I said, not everyone needs it, but we can arrange that call totally for free. We'll go through it together. We'll figure out if coaching is the right fit for you, and we can take things from there. But otherwise, thank you very much for making it all the way to the end of this video. If you have enjoyed it, if you found it useful, make sure to leave a like, leave your thoughts and questions in the comment section down below, and of course, subscribe to the channel if you are new here. I'm going to be continuing to put out new content on, at the very least, a weekly basis, sometimes more often than that, whenever I can get videos done. I'm no longer sticking to a strict schedule. It will just be at least one video every week, and more if they are ready during that time frame. So make sure that you're subscribed for that. Otherwise, thank you very much once again for watching this video, and I look forward to seeing you in future videos here on this channel very, very soon.